Good morning from Blackpool. It's my final visit because next week I am in Europa and the week after I am in Madrid. So this is my goodbye for 2025. So the plan is to recap the season because a hell of a lot has happened this year. Talk about next year and beyond because we know some stuff, there's rumours about other things, and get my last rides in. Probably not on the big one because it's quite windy today. But anyway, let's recap the season, shall we? Starting here because this guy, Launchpad, well, we started the season with that covered in scaffolding. Because last year we didn't know what was happening. Like, was it going? Was it staying? And then they announced that it was going to be reimagined. Now, to some people, it's had a paint job. To those that know, it's had its whole guts replaced, and it's got some force in it again, so you actually get ejected out of your seat. One slight frustration, I haven't checked this morning. The last time I was here, the smoke effect wasn't working, so I'm hoping that that's temporary and it does come back because it adds to it, right? It doesn't change the ride experience, but it's part of it. So that's definitely a positive. That was our new ride for 2025. And I was here for opening day, got to film on it, which was fantastic. So let's keep going, shall we? I'm breaking with tradition. If you've watched the channel long enough, you know that I always start over there on Derby Racer. But there's basically no queue, so I may as well start on Launchpad. As well as us getting a new ride, we lost 5. They closed the Red Arrows thing that I can't make upside down, and a bunch of kids' rides. We've lost the carousel. The others, who knows? There's rumours that Red Force is coming back next season. It has been built back up, so I guess we'll find out. But this bad boy is new and quite enjoyable. So let's start the day with a freezing cold view from up there.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
That's a good way to start the day. That's nice and exhilarating and bloody freezing up there. Right, next one. I'm standing next to Valhalla. Some of you will know I went on the Beyond Valhalla tour, which was an exclusive event. Very expensive. A lot of people kind of complained about the 250 quid price tag. But you know, it was intentionally exclusive, right? Like, we got to see a lot. Like the whole thing behind the scenes, sit in the ride cab, hear about everything. We had a massive, massive feast, like too much food. And they were going for exclusivity, right? A lot of people were like, they're just trying to grab money. They've done a second one. If they were trying to grab money, they'd be doing it every week. They do have another event on behind the scenes, which I also did, which was fantastic. And it was like 30, 40 quid, something like that. That is running every week. So the cheap one is frequent and the really expensive one is not. So they're definitely not just trying to grab some cash. But seeing behind the scenes of this bad boy was definitely a highlight for me this season. And it kind of gives you an appreciation for just how complicated this ride actually is. Yes, I did it when I hit 10k, I did 10 laps on it, and different things were working, failing, etc. There's a lot of complexity in this ride. One frustration I feel for the park, they did the big reimagining to make it more efficient, right? Because this ride is by far the most expensive attraction on park, right? The water pumps, the gas, all of that stuff costs a fortune. So they made it more efficient, and then energy prices went through the roof. So now it costs just as much as it did before. Which is probably why it's only open a few hours a day, because it's bloody expensive to run. Still enjoy the ride, not going to do it today, because it's far too cold and wet. But yeah, definitely another highlight of the 2025 season. I do enjoy Derby Racers, although that particular run, I don't know if it was just that horse, it was pretty rough. I was getting shaken all over the shop. What was pretty cool though was Journey to Hell, which I really enjoyed this year, but they included this. They put sort of curtains up and then they turned the lights out and all the clowns came smacking all the horses, which was a nice little touch. Anyway, let's see what's next, shall we? Keep going round the park. And one of the things I touched on there was behind the scenes. That was a really, really, really good tour, right? So we got to see behind the scenes of the Derby Racer, went underneath it. We went underneath the flying machine. We went into Stageworks, which is fascinating in there. We went into the maintenance bay of Icon, and we went up Revolution. It's still running right now, and they've mixed up a little bit because there's now Alice is included and Infusion is included. And some people have even been able to see inside the building site for Aviktas. Not been able to go on site, but these black boards that are in front of me, those ones right there, we obviously had to take them down to get the deliveries in with all the parts. which are currently hiding over that wall right now, and those who were on the behind the scenes got to stand there and have a nosy. So fascinating. I will probably go out to Watson Road and see what I can see. I know they've blocked it to try and make it a little bit more complicated to see, but I think I can still poke the camera through a little bit. Of course, the best view is on the big one, as I said. Don't know if that's going to run today. I haven't seen it testing, and it's a little bit windy. We've also now come up to this guy, River Caves. So here's the thing, right? River Caves has been shut for 2 years now. I think it ran an opening weekend last year, and then it's been shut ever since. And of course, nobody knew what was happening. There was rumours of a leak, all sorts of things. The park stayed kind of tight-lipped for a while, and then they've now basically said that it is coming back. In fact, I think there's a sign over here that says, "We are busy reimagining it for your future enjoyment." Now, they haven't said anything about release dates, like when it's coming back. Be honest with you, I've said this in numerous videos. We got Launchpad this year, we're getting Aviktas next year. I wouldn't be surprised if this is 2027. Of course, we got to go inside it in Journey to Hell, see bits of it. Not a huge amount of it, to be honest. I have heard from staff that work has begun on the reimagining, which is fantastic. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Some people think it might be tied to Aviktas, so I have a backstory to it. Who knows? It's always been here for a very, very long time, and it's evolved massively over that time. So it'll be interesting to see if they kind of keep the core element of the River Caves, the sort of journey around the world, and just kind of modernise it and improve it, or if they totally change it up. But yeah, curious to see what's happening with this one. It is a little bit frustrating that it's been down for a couple of years, but hopefully when it comes back, it's all been worth it. Right, let's go see Wallace and Gromit, shall we? This also got a little bit of TLC this year. It's very dark in here. They added some new scenes. I'm not gonna lie, the first one's alright, and then the rest of them are kind of small. I think we all expected a little bit more. But it's good to see new things, so let's go get some cheese and see Norbit.
Morning, Gromit. Porridge today, lad. Tuesday. Gromit, I've got a bug in my hands.
Hi, can I view the channel?
Right, I do enjoy that ride. I did see the big one running, which I'm kind of surprised, because I would have thought it was too windy, so I'm going to go over there now and hope it's still running, get my final shot on it for the season before it backs in. Actually, speaking of the big one, Scott from Your Experience Guide, he did a charity event on that, and he actually managed 100 laps in a day. Basically, they let him stay on the ride. He did not come off. Well, he came off. I think he batched up all of these. It was allowed 5 minutes per hour, so he batched it up and had a couple of breaks. But basically, he sat in that seat all day. 100 laps. Impressive. Also, where I am right now, the former Grand Prix. Now, obviously, we're hoping that we're going to get something here. They haven't said anything. But in the meantime, they've turned this into like a wee garden. Ironically, it looks like a picnic garden, and you're not allowed to bring a picnic in with you. Obviously, you can buy food elsewhere and bring it down. So, but yeah, I mean, the rumblings I've heard is that this will look like this for around about 3 or 4 years, and that they are in the early stages of planning a coaster. Now, of course, that is rumours. Nothing is confirmed from the park. I've heard speculation about various different manufacturers, but I fully expect whatever goes here, coaster or otherwise, to be a family attraction, because let's be fair, it was a family attraction that they took out. So I can't imagine they're going to take out the Grand Prix and put in some thrilling coaster. I wouldn't be getting your hopes up just yet. But I'd love to think that, as I said, 2026 is all about Aviktas. It'd be good if 2027 is the River Caves, and then maybe 28 is something here. I think that's probably the earliest we're going to see something here, 28. Might actually be 29. But, I mean, it's good that they've not just left it looking like a building site, or indeed left the former Grand Prix Helix SBNO, right? Because there's nothing worse than seeing a ride just derelict and getting left. So anyway, I'm going to continue over at the big one now and get a wee shot on that. You'll notice this is not the big one. This had a small queue, so I thought I would jump in it. Maybe not quite as small as I thought. Kind of hoping the big one's still running. Let's go do Avalanche, shall we? That was close. I hadn't seen the big one going round in a while, so I kind of got worried that I'd cocked that one up. The big one's just left the station, so we're fine. I kind of got a bit confused because Revolution's not on the track, which is a little bit weird. Like, they seem to be starting winter maintenance earlier and earlier, and I get it, they've got a lot to do this season, putting in Aviktas and stuff, but pretty sure they're still charging full price. You take some rides out for winter maintenance, like I'm pretty sure Polton's is doing that right now, and they're charging less, so yeah, it's a little bit annoying. Anyway, as I said, big one's running. Let's go do that, shall we?
Please move down the platform, stand behind the other bar, and against. Please, all loose items are clothing.
There's my final shot on the big one for 2025. I love it when it's timed perfectly, that just as the as Icon is cresting, hello, as Icon is cresting the top hat, we were going right past it, which is fantastic. Something weird happened there where they stopped the train. I don't know if somebody took their phone out. That would be a silly thing to do. Listen, I love that ride. It's getting old, it's getting a bit shaky. I did walk the big one this year. That was fantastic. And on that, Andy did say that they are still planning on retracking it because they would love it to be around for another 30 years. So I'm curious to see, sorry, I'm getting my photo. I'm curious to see when they start that back up, because I don't think it's going to be this season. They've got far too much going on in the close season. But it was also good to see, I'm trying to multitask, I'm getting my photo. It's also good to see Aviktas, because it's now unwrapped and sitting on the floor. And from what I've heard, it is going to be getting erected Monday, Tuesday. This video goes out on Monday, so possibly it is half built or built by the time you watch this. But I'm so buzzing for that ride next year. Right, let's keep going. I'm probably going to see what Icon's like, because I love Icon. And if it's not a massive queue, I'm going to do it. See you over there. There we go, that's Icon done. Still my favourite ride in the country. I've done Hyperia a few times this year. It's good. I prefer a wee bit of length to my ride. So that is fantastic. Another thing that happened this year was they decided to introduce doggy Sundays, which I don't think there's any other parks around that do that. At least not in the UK. It's fairly common in parts of like Europe where they do it, but yeah, so now on a Sunday you can bring your dog. Right, so this is this was one of the rides that got taken away this season. Here's the thing, right? When they announced that they were taking 5 rides away, it wasn't clear whether it was a permanent removal or a temporary thing, because they obviously weren't seeing a huge number of riders on this particular attraction. Obviously, Thompson Carousel has left the building, as it were. It's off, doing its thing. The rest of them, though, are still standing but not operating. And what's bizarre is this bad boy was in bits, and in the last couple of months, they have built it up. Now, there's 2 theories going around. One is that they were doing it up to sell it, as in let prospective buyers see it operating and all that kind of stuff. And the other is that it's actually coming back. Now, here's the thing, right? You could build it to show it off. You don't have to do that. There's plenty of rides just sitting in bits, waiting to be purchased. And I've kind of heard rumours that this has applied for certification to run again. I think, is it ADIPS or ADIPS? You wouldn't do that unless you're planning on putting people on it. Now, that could be those buyers, but again, that's effort. So, I'm not a huge fan of these rides, you probably know that. I can't even make the damn things go upside down, but I am curious if it's coming back. I'd love to say it's great to see more rides back for capacity, but it's not high throughput, and I don't think it ever had a massive queue, so I don't know. It seems a weird one if it comes back, but it's also really daft. What I hate when a ride is just left. Like I said earlier with the Grand Prix, where they knocked it down. It's better that than just leaving it sitting there. So, I'd love to know your thoughts down below though. What do you think's happening with this? Is it coming back? Is it going? Do you care? Right. That's ow, painful. They've changed the operations on there. I'm not quite sure why. Quite often I'll have a bag with me and usually just wear it on the ride. But now you have to leave them at the side of the station, which I've certainly never seen. So it must be something reasonably new. And those brakes are just violent. Another thing this year was that Amanda hinted on a podcast with the Mac family that she is keen to bring about another hotel to the park. And I know that is something that people are like, why are you wasting money on a hotel? Build a new ride. Here's the thing, right? The hotels make money. A lot of money, right? Those two hotels are profitable. Boulevard is a beautiful hotel, keeps winning awards, etc. And now they're separate companies, so I don't know how this works, but you know, if they can bring the money in through the hotels and then somehow transfer that to the pleasure beach, then we'll get those rides. Right now, this part isn't the profitable part. So, curious to see, it might never happen. And if it does, there's a lot of rumours that it would be over at the car park. And one thing that is happening is that facade along the promenade is that's going to be accommodation of some description. Andy confirmed on the recent behind the scenes that that is still in the works. Just focus is elsewhere right now, so we'll see when that happens. I was going to go on Streak because I like Streak. That's another one that started winter maintenance early, so I get it, they've got a lot to do, and I assume they're going to open in February for Nickelodeon like they did this year. As I said, it doesn't bother me as a season pass holder, but if you've paid for a ticket, it's still full price. Right, let's see, I don't know what I'm going to go on next then, because, well, there's no Streak. See you in a minute. Right, decided to do a Blue Flyer, because, well, it's running. That's new, they've moved the scanner to, well, the wall. Some of you remember, it used to be the guy used to run up the train doing it, then they started doing it at the entrance, and now they've got a scanner there. Different to the rest of the scanners. Odd. Another thing was this bad boy here. Carly suggested I wear a wig. I'm wearing a wig. It's not a very comfortable wig. And it looks nothing like Dora. That was the whole point. But the ride's been shut ever since. It wasn't me, I didn't pay them to shut the ride. But next year, when it comes back, I'll put this stupid thing on and do a lap. Alice. I do enjoy Alice. It was actually really good during Journey to Hell because, so last year they put 2 actors in it and it was okay. This year they put 6, including some outside, which caught Carly unaware, which was hilarious. So that was fantastic. Another thing I did this year, some of you might have noticed, is I did a wee competition against Ben, a fan of the channel, been a long fan of the channel, and he and I raced around this park to see who could win. We've been talking about a rematch, so if you're interested in a rematch, let me know in the comments down below. And should it be this park, or should we do another park like maybe Alton Towers? Right, I'm going to try and get on the Grand National and Big Dipper, and then I think I've done pretty much everything. There's still a few hours left, and I haven't had lunch. So let's go and do the Nash. I've had 2 reasonably good rides on the Nash. Let's see if we can make it 3 in a row, shall we? I actually had a reasonably good ride. 3 in a row. Annoyingly, this man beat me though.
Evening.
Aye, you won.
I know, just.
That's no fair.
That's because he's a better man.
Oh, right, on that note, I'm going to go and do Big Dipper. Right, that's Big Dipper done. That was alright actually. They obviously shut that in September, and they were doing some retracking over by the hotels. I didn't do the violent sideways shake, which was nice. And I'm guessing if they're doing that sort of thing during season and not off season, again, that just kind of ties into how much is coming up. Shout out to the ride ops there. Always lovely to catch up with them. Also said Aviktas is going up on Monday, which, well, this video goes out on Monday, so probably around about the time you see this video, Aviktas is up. I don't know what to do now. The only thing I haven't done is infusion, and I ain't gonna. So I'm gonna go and grab some grub, and then decide what I want to rewrite. See you in a minute. So So I've just had some food. Just had a burger and chips. I thought I'd go on Ghost Train. People are walking down the ramp and out. I missed an evac. That's annoying. It looks like I'm also going to miss my shot on this because, well, it was broken earlier. Yeah, it's broken now. Huh. I just got on the Ghost Train there. I didn't think I was going to because it was shut earlier, and then it evac'd a bunch of people. And I just stood chatting to Josh, Theme Park Mad, and Thrills and Food. And then we got on it. I've always been critical of towers for struggling to get a trommel tunnel to work on the Curse, because that always works. Well, nearly, because it didn't work there. Still find that creepy. I don't know why. Maybe it's cloggy, maybe it's real. Right, I'm going to go and do the fly machines. Aye. See you in a minute. I've come on the fly machines. Hopefully you can hear me before it gets too windy. I was going to say, they added a new season pass entrance this year. Because apparently there's been some naughty people who were sharing their passes with others. So if you're a season pass holder or you buy one next year, I assume they'll keep this in place, you need to go up to the left hand side, show them your pass from the app, and then they'll let you in. So yeah, that changed this year. Also, there are some crazy people who are waiting for Valhalla. It's November, and it's Baltic. Strange people. Wouldn't it be me? Anyway, I'm going to freeze my nuts off on this, and then maybe do something else. I'm going to try and end on the big one. I don't know if that's next though, or because there's an hour and a half. I've got plenty of time. I'll get a few other things in, and then we'll end on the big one. See you in a minute. There we go. I mean, I usually do Pleasure Beach Express after lunch. Terrible, that was only one train operations. Right, I think I'm going to do Icon. It's starting to get a little bit darker. The lights are on. And then end the season and my day on a big one. So, let's go do Icon. Hi. See you over there. Right, that was a lot of fun. That thing has definitely warmed up and it's absolutely hauling. So I'm now going to go and end my day on a big one and get one final look at Aviktas before it's built. See you in a minute. Right, I've just finished on 2 back-to-back rides on a big one, which was fantastic. That thing is absolutely hauling, and it's great to see, again, having a wee nosy at Aviktas. Last time it'll be lying on the floor. Listen, it's been a great day, and it's been an interesting season. It's definitely had some highs and some lows. I'd love to know down below your thoughts on the season, your highlights, and your lowlights, I guess. Yeah, as always, I've been Chris, you've been watching Coaster Dad. See you next week in Germany. Adios.